It's all about a very concrete example how systemic change happened bottom up. Nobody told anybody anything. A couple of people, leaders, Ted from Equity Ventures, Rokas from Contrarian, and some other friends came together in some coffee shop, right? And they said, hey, we see a big problem out there in the European venture capital industry. Yeah, everybody's trying to, do only its own part. We see many, many silos. To raise a startup, to grow the startup, to scale a startup in Europe is just very difficult. And they say, well, we want to change that. And they locked 60 of us in Ted's cottage in Sweden the other day. It was raining. They didn't allow us to go out. And we were working on a project called Climate Brick. So let me, without any further ado, invite Ted from EQT and Robina from Contrarian Ventures on the stage to tell us what they did. So Ted, why don't you introduce yourself shortly so people know who is EQT and who is Contrarian Ventures, and then the floor is yours, and I will disappear.
Sit down.
Okay, well, sit down.
Or lie down if you want to.
Lie down.
It's okay. Yes, you should. Yes, you should. My name is Ted. Contrary to what's on my head, I don't like arranging things particularly much. I'm a pretty messy person. Been with EQT now for 10 years, and I'm leading climate and deep tech there. And on my left side, your right side, I have someone else.
Yeah, great to meet you, and thank you, Peter, for the invite. Amazing speeches before, so hard to keep up to the level. I'm Robina. I work at Contrarian Ventures. Before that, I founded a company in the circular economy space also, so was very happy to hear a lot about circular economy today. And then joined Contrarian Ventures, so the other side, 2 years ago. And yeah, been very excited to work with Ted also on the other team members on the brick.
And Carl from McKinsey, he escaped, but he's here in spirit, which is what matters. And we're here to take you through a couple of slides. And back to the beginning of this amazing event, I must say. I did not expect this setup. We were talking about improvisation, and is there anything that is less improvisational than slides? It's something that we created before, and we're just going through them in order. So then I figured, why don't we spice it up a bit? Why don't we use what we have and improvise a bit? So if you're up for it, let's do some sound effects for the slides. I have some ideas on some sound effects on some slides, but then let's improvise. So one sound effect per slide. Or you don't have to, because no sound effect is also a sound effect. Very philosophical, very philosophical. So the climate brick got started, I think, a year and a half or almost 2 years ago. And we sat down, not in a coffee shop, but actually in a bus, me and Rokas from Contrarian Ventures. And we both had thought about that there's so much time being spent on just like agreeing on basic stuff, especially in climate investing. And we said, is there a way where we could just speed that up? Like remove 20% of the hustle and dedicate that on solving the problem instead of just trying to agree with investors and founders and other stakeholders. What is a seed round? What is an A round? What do I raise when, and so forth. So we decided to create the missing manual for scaling climate tech. That was beautiful. That was perfect timing. So that is what Climate Brick is. It's a missing manual for scaling climate tech. And look at the spotlight there. That's a sound effect kind of moment. And it's for not just for us as investors, but for all stakeholders around the table. So for the founders, the investors, the capital providers, the policymakers, the advisors. So basically trying to create a standard or a missing manual. And my background is in software. I got going when I was a kid, like computers and stuff like that. And it's a world that I know. And later when I raised capital and so forth, it was a way less simple world. It was me, the founder, and then I went to an investor and I pitched. And then eventually you pitched couple, and then one of them liked you, and then you shook hands, and that was it. But the world of climate investing, as we all know, is a very different world.
Ooh. Nice.
Way more stakeholders around the table, with their own perspective, with their own sort of level of maturity. So it's a much more complex world. So the journey in climate tech is way more messy. And when we meet founders, which we do a couple of times every day, we kept hearing the same questions over and over again, such as, when should I raise? What are the milestones that I need to hit to raise? How much? When do I raise equity, debt, grants? How do I structure LOIs, like offtakes, strategic investors? And now this one here, I don't know what this one, but okay, let's do this one here. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, look at that. So we want to remove friction from this messy journey and make it as streamlined as the software journey. So that is the climate brick. That's the idea behind the climate brick. So what we did was that we analyzed more than 3,000 companies. We did that using data sources that everyone have access to, and some data sources that are proprietary. Then we managed to get Carl, who's not here. He's done his chore, I think. They analyzed this data, and they made more than 100 expert interviews. More than 100 expert interviews. Thanks, McKinsey. And then we launched this a couple of weeks ago. So that's it. On the next slide, there will be 7 different things falling down. So I want 7 quick drum hits. Boom, 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 7. So what we did was that these 3,000, it's you, I'm looking at you. 7, boom, 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 in sync with what's happening soon. So we took all these 3,000 companies, we tried to turn them into sort of one archetypical journey. Was very, very hard. So we ended up with 7 journeys. So here they are, the 7 climate bricks.
Oh yeah.
That was very, very good. 7 climate bricks, and they represent different archetypical journeys. So we have one that is called gigascaling, which is basically about building plants. We have one called green deployments, which is about deploying green assets, as a service, product disruption. We have one called new technology, where we have a picture coming there. Then out of the new technology brick, there is one moonshot brick, where there's a lot of tech risk still there. And then there's one for software that is connected to hardware in different ways. Now there will be things falling down again. So for each of these journeys, there is a scaling formula, or there is a brick. And these bricks are falling down, I don't know. These bricks define what a top quartile journey looks like. So between 2020 and 2023, the top 25%, we took away some that were like too crazy. What did these journeys look like? So if you look at this gigascaling brick, for instance, this is what it looks like. So this is a climate brick. So it's basically a template for a journey. And you can download this template if you're an investor. You can download this template from the website. You can use it in your IC decks. If you're a founder, you can use it in your pitch decks. If you're a policymaker, and so forth. And if we look at this brick, the gigascaling brick for building plants, on the y-axis, we have a couple of different dimensions. We have financial dimensions, commercial dimensions, product dimensions. We have technology, operational dimensions. And then if we look at the x-axis, it's basically time. So what's the pre-seed round about? What's the seed round about? And so forth. And just going through them. And for each brick, we have summarized the 3 most important things. We call them critical unlocks. And these can also be found in different places of the actual brick. So that's the gigascaling brick. Now I'm doing Carl's slides as well, so I will talk more than you will. But you can take over if you want to, or you can. Yeah.
No,
let's continue.
Ted, you do an amazing job, and I'm fine.
We have the green deployment brick. We have the as a service brick. We have the product disruption brick. We have the new technology brick, the moonshot brick, and the companion software brick. And on the website, each brick is there, top 25%, but there's also at least one example per brick. And we call them a pioneer case. So for companion software, it's Tadu, who is here to tonight. So big thanks for that. So here you can have a look at their journey and be inspired by that journey. So over time, we would love for all of you to send in your journeys as well, so we can learn from each other. So here we have them, the 7 climate bricks. And now I'll hand over the clicker to you, I think.
Okay.
And sit down.
So yeah, I think now you saw our first, overview, the manual, the missing manual, which, as Ted said, we all want that you get engaged and use. But what is the big vision we have with the Climate Break is really to build a community. As we said at the beginning, it's a multi-stage, multi-shareholders relationship, right? Like we want to get everybody involved, capital providers, founders, policymakers, to really support and have this transition, which is one of our biggest challenge. And so I think what we want to share with you is also how you can get involved and get engaged here. And before that, this is an overview how the website looks at the moment. So this is also creativity by the head done. I think here you can see the website is climatebreak.com, and here you can see how you basically can use and get used to the website. There's a lot of information in it. First of all, like how we did it, but also, as Ted already showed, you can download all these bricks and use it for your internal, to think through how your journey looked like. What else can we do? You can sign up the open letter, really become part of the community. And then, as said, it's our 2024 version. It's the first version we started, and there's a lot of things we wanted to improve. And we would love to get feedback also on the bricks. So also to all founders and investors, download the brick, test it out, and tell us how you think about it, how you like it, what is missing, to really improve it together, because it's a community work we have to do. Also share your data. As Ted already told you, we analyzed all the more than 1,000 companies, but obviously we have the better data set we have, the better accurate we can get and improve the tool. And then obviously today you are here, and we host many more events, and I think the next one is at ClimaHack in Lausanne, but we host a lot of events to bring and make this community also more vivid. And obviously you're invited to host your own event and join us and bring up this community and become part of it. And we already here have some great feedback of a lot of people who joined us and are integrating and really building up the community. So
no one is drumming here. I mean, no.
Yeah, so we need more drums. So can you drum? What else? This is a video of
So that's it. That's the climate brick for you.
Okay, thank you.